Imagine standing on the banks of an African river as the last rays of sunlight disappear beyond the horizon. The water looks completely calm, almost peaceful. Then slowly, without any warning, two pairs of eyes rise above the surface. One belongs to a creature that survived the extinction of dinosaurs without changing almost anything about itself. The other belongs to a massive giant responsible for more human deaths in Africa than almost any other large animal. One is built to kill through silence and patience. The other is built to dominate through overwhelming size and unstoppable power. But who truly deserves the title of King of the River? Is it the ancient crocodile, whose terrifying bite has remained almost perfect for millions of years? Or the enormous hippopotamus, whose strength can destroy almost anything standing in its way? Today, we compare everything: evolution, body structure, intelligence, bite force, hunting ability, family life, and what would truly happen if these two river legends ever faced each other directly. Stay until the end, because the final answer may completely change the way you see these two extraordinary animals. The crocodile's story begins long before humans ever walked on Earth. While dinosaurs rose and disappeared, crocodiles continued surviving through countless disasters with almost no changes to their bodies. Nature had already created one of the most efficient ambush hunters ever known. The hippo's journey was completely different. Their ancient ancestors evolved from land mammals closely related to whales nearly 50 million years ago. Over millions of years, they gradually adapted to spending most of their lives inside rivers and lakes. One is an ancient reptile that outlasted the dinosaurs. The other is a giant mammal whose closest living relatives swim in the ocean. Did you know the hippopotamus is more closely related to whales than to any land animal? Now let's look at their bodies because the contrast is extraordinary. A crocodile has a long, muscular body covered with thick, armored scales. Its narrow shape allows it to move silently beneath the water without creating a single ripple. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils all sit on top of its head, allowing it to remain almost completely hidden underwater while watching everything around it. Every single part of its body is designed for one purpose: remaining invisible until the perfect moment to strike. A hippo looks completely different. Its body is enormous, round, and incredibly heavy. Adult males can weigh more than 3,000 kilograms, making them several times heavier than even the largest Nile crocodiles. Despite their massive size, hippos spend nearly 16 hours every day submerged in water to keep their bodies cool under the brutal African sun. Their movement through water is completely different too. A crocodile glides beneath the surface almost invisibly, using slow movements of its powerful tail to approach prey without being detected. A hippo simply walks along the riverbed, bouncing across the bottom rather than swimming like other aquatic animals. And here comes one of the biggest surprises. Despite weighing several tons, a hippo can run across land at nearly 30 kilometers per hour. Never mistake a hippo for a slow animal. That mistake has cost many lives. Now let's talk about their mouths, because this is where things get truly terrifying. A crocodile's jaws are long, narrow, and packed with dozens of razor-sharp teeth, designed perfectly for gripping struggling prey. Once those jaws close, escape becomes almost impossible. A hippo's mouth is something completely different. It opens nearly 180 degrees wide. Instead of slicing teeth, it possesses enormous tusk-like canine teeth that grow throughout its entire life. These giant tusks are not used for hunting, but during a territorial battle, one single strike from those tusks can crush bone, destroy a small boat, or inflict devastating injuries on almost any opponent. One looks like the perfect predator. The other looks like an oversized plant eater. But in Africa, appearances can be dangerously misleading.
As night falls across the African river, both animals reveal exactly who they are. The crocodile becomes invisible. It slowly sinks until only its eyes and nostrils remain above the surface. Every movement stops. Every sound disappears. It becomes nothing more than a shadow waiting in the darkness, perfectly still, sometimes for hours, waiting for a single mistake from an animal approaching the water. The hippo does something completely different. Instead of hunting, it quietly leaves the river and walks several kilometers across the grasslands. Throughout the night, it peacefully grazes on grass, eating nearly 40 kilograms before returning to the water before sunrise. One of Africa's largest and most dangerous mammals survives almost entirely on plants. This creates one of the greatest contrasts in the entire natural world. The crocodile survives through hunting. The hippo survives through grazing. Yet both dominate the exact same rivers. Now let's compare their intelligence, because both animals are far smarter than most people realize. A crocodile is an extraordinarily patient strategist. It studies animal movements for days, memorizes the safest ambush locations, and attacks only when success is almost guaranteed. It wastes almost no energy because every single hunt is carefully planned. Scientists have even observed crocodiles balancing sticks on their snouts during nesting season to attract birds searching for nest-building material. That is genuine tool use in a reptile, and it shocked the scientific world. A hippo's intelligence works differently. It remembers the boundaries of its territory with remarkable precision. Every member of the group understands its position in the social hierarchy. Dominant males constantly monitor rivals and react to the smallest violations of their space. When danger approaches, their reactions are completely opposite. A crocodile usually avoids unnecessary fights. If the threat is too great, it quietly disappears beneath the water without making a sound. Survival always comes before pride. A hippo rarely backs away from anything. If an animal enters its territory, it charges immediately with astonishing speed and aggression. Even elephants and rhinos choose to avoid unnecessary confrontations with an angry hippo. Now comes the comparison that surprises almost everyone: bite force. The Nile crocodile possesses one of the strongest bites ever measured in the animal kingdom, exceeding 3,700 pounds per square inch. Once those jaws close around prey, escape is almost physically impossible. The hippo also has a devastatingly powerful bite, but it serves a completely different purpose. Its enormous canine teeth can grow over 50 centimeters long. One powerful bite can crush bones and inflict catastrophic injuries on almost any opponent. In terms of gripping power, the crocodile leads. In terms of raw destructive impact, the hippo is terrifying. Their fighting styles inside the water are also completely opposite. A crocodile attacks through surprise, grabs its victim, and performs the famous death roll, spinning violently to tear flesh apart or drown struggling prey. A hippo charges forward with its mouth open, nearly 180 degrees, attempting to crush or throw its opponent away using its enormous jaws and thousands of kilograms of unstoppable momentum. Now imagine these two giants sharing the same stretch of river. This actually happens every single day across Africa, and most of the time they simply ignore each other, because both animals understand exactly how dangerous the other can be. Large crocodiles rarely provoke healthy adult hippos, because one direct hit from a hippo could be fatal. Hippos generally ignore crocodiles unless their calves are nearby. But if a crocodile comes too close to a young hippo, the peaceful grazer transforms instantly into an unstoppable force of nature, chasing the predator with terrifying aggression until the danger is completely gone. Family reveals another fascinating difference between these two animals. A female crocodile carefully builds a nest on the riverbank, lays dozens of eggs, and guards them with remarkable dedication. When the babies are ready to hatch, she gently carries them inside her powerful jaws to the safety of the water. The same jaws that can destroy large prey become delicate enough to protect tiny hatchlings without causing any harm. That single image tells you everything about how complex and extraordinary these ancient animals truly are. A hippo mother gives birth in shallow water and stays extremely close to her calf during its first months of life. The young hippo learns to swim almost immediately and even nurses underwater while holding its breath. If any predator comes too close, the mother reacts with instant and overwhelming aggression, willing to fight crocodiles, lions, or anything else that dares threaten her baby. Now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. If a fully grown Nile crocodile and a fully grown hippopotamus faced each other directly, what would actually happen? At the beginning, the crocodile would likely remain beneath the water, watching carefully and waiting for the perfect opportunity. It would never attack carelessly, because one direct mistake against such a massive opponent could be fatal. The hippo would not wait. The moment it sensed danger inside its territory, it would charge forward with devastating speed, opening its enormous jaws nearly 180 degrees. Every step would carry several tons of unstoppable force directly toward the threat. If the crocodile managed to bite the hippo's leg or jaw, its powerful grip would certainly cause pain. But unlike a zebra or antelope, the hippo's enormous body, incredibly thick skin, and overwhelming strength make it almost impossible to control. The death roll that works so effectively against other prey becomes extremely difficult against something weighing several thousand kilograms. And if the hippo landed one direct strike with those enormous tusks, the consequences could be absolutely devastating. One powerful bite could crush bones, damage internal organs, or throw even a massive crocodile through the water like it weighed nothing. This is exactly why wildlife researchers have documented large crocodiles giving way when dominant hippos become aggressive. They understand the risk is simply too great. So who wins the final comparison? Evolution. Crocodile because it survived unchanged since the age of dinosaurs. Body size. Hippo by an enormous margin. Stealth and ambush. Crocodile. Territorial dominance. Hippo. Gripping bite force. Crocodile. Destructive power. Hippo. Speed in water. Crocodile. Raw strength. Hippo. In a battle of surprise and strategy, the crocodile has the advantage. But in a direct face-to-face confrontation between two healthy adults, the hippopotamus wins because of its overwhelming size, incredible durability, and unstoppable physical power. In the end, nature never created these two giants to replace each other. The crocodile became the silent assassin of the river, ruling through patience, precision, and one of the most powerful bites in the animal kingdom. The hippopotamus became the unstoppable guardian of the river, ruling through size, strength, and absolute territorial dominance. One proves that intelligence and perfect timing can create the ultimate predator. The other proves that sheer power and fearlessness can make even the fiercest hunters think twice. So, who do you think would win? The crocodile or the hippo? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more incredible animal comparisons. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.